Triumph Speed 4 is sidelined for a while. I'm getting the Magna out and I'm getting it ready so I can go out and ride tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the first official ride of the Michigan Idiot Collective. So anyhow, let's fire up the Magna. It's been sitting all winter long. Have not started it yet. I bet it's gonna fire right up because it always does. Alrighty. Let's see, I should have turned that on. Yep. Fuel valve's on. Got fuel in my filter. Let's fire this dude up. Position. Yeah, it's kind of warm. I don't know if I need to choke, but we'll give it a little bit. Here goes. Tiny little bit of throttle. Every time, man. Always fires. Not even a problem. Any kind of Yep, fires right up just like it always does. Doesn't leak, it just works. What an awesome bike. I gotta get this thing painted this year. And not this weekend. Oh no, we're going for a ride. Well, so the Magna fired right up just like it always does. I never have problems with this bike. It always runs like a top. I didn't always do that when I first got it, but you know, over the years you go through all the maintenance items and eventually you get it all caught up. But it has been sitting since I put it away for the winter, and that's the first time I fired it up, and it fired first try. Just a tiny little bit of choke and just a little bit of gas and boom, it was running. So anyhow, gonna get some ride videos tomorrow. Me and a couple of my friends from work, which we are all now members of the Idiot Collective, the USA Michigan chapter, are going to ride to Grand Rapids and back and stop at a Harley dealer and stop at Fox Motorsports, which is a huge dealership out in Grand Rapids. They sell Aprilia, Ducati, Triumph, I believe Yamaha, possibly Kawasaki, a couple other brands, and they have tons and tons of stuff, so I'm sure I'll find something to spend my money on. Currently, the Speedy is laid up. I'd love to be riding this dude, but unfortunately, Mr. Previous owner, I work at a Harley dealership, who actually did have the maintenance records, but only up to 12,000 miles. So this bike has 17,000 miles. And the maintenance was not done at a dealership, so there's no stamps or anything in the book. Dude just wrote in, I'm sure it was all bullshit. Anyhow, the the reason why the drivetrain felt and shifted so weird wasn't just because the chain had so much slack in it. Even before I undid the wheel here, you could push it almost up to the swing arm. What was scary was that this nut was so loose I could turn it by hand. And the only thing that held it on, which is why you should definitely use this and make sure that you've peened it over, was this locking washer. And it should have more than 2 flats peened over, but this one only had 1. That was the only thing holding it on, because I undid it with my mighty 2 fingers here. And 15-tooth front sprocket. So that has been replaced at least once. I saw that in the service record that it had been done under warranty through Triumph, because the 14-tooth prematurely wears out the rub strip. But I don't know how well that comes out in the camera. The teeth are asymmetrically worn. Not all of them, but some of them. Guess that's kind of a good view there. I mean, I've seen it worse, but that right there should be a nice U. It's worn more on that side than this side. And some of that unevenness was the fact that this freaking thing was loose. The other awesome thing is it's a wee bit oily down here. And the reason why is my output shaft seal is leaking, which according to the Triumph Rat .net forums, it's pretty common for these bikes once they get up above 12,000 miles to start leaking on the TT 600s and the Triumph Speed 4s. And that's a spacer right there, and you slide a spacer out and you can get back there with a little seal remover tool, which I have, or some people take just some screws and drill them into the face of the seal and then just pull the screw out and the seal comes out pretty easy. The other thing I got to do here is replace this guy here. This is the wear strip on the swing arm. And even though they had updated the front sprocket to the larger size, the 15-tooth, as opposed to the stock 14-tooth, which was done under warranty according to services in the service records, the rear sprocket is still a 45-tooth. I'm going to a 47 with a 15 up front, and that'll give me just a little bit more clearance over the swing arm. And I've got a DID gold X-ring chain on order and a set of RK steel sprockets front and rear. So until all that stuff comes in, 2 parts being this from Triumph, which, believe it or not, that shipped right away. So apparently those wear out so often that they keep them readily on hand to ship out immediately. But Bike Bandit has not shipped the seal, and I'm also going to replace the seal here while I'm at it, because this little seal has been known to leak. And that should be it. Originally the oil that it was piddling out underneath, there's a couple spots there, I thought that oil was from the vent tubing, but in all actuality it's not. The crankcase vent on this, the valve is clean, it works just fine, there's no oil in the air box, so all the oil was coming from this dude right here. So yeah, even when you buy your used bike from a quote-unquote mechanic, I can see why the previous owner may have lost his job if he actually was a mechanic and wasn't lying, because he isn't a very good mechanic. Either that or he likes to be a lying piece of shit. At any rate, for the most part, all the little stuff on the Speedy has been sorted. The tires are actually still in pretty good shape. They got at least another full season of riding on it. And I changed the oil, and I'm going through some of the services. Some of these services I'm going to put off for a little while because I'm going to take it into the Triumph to get the valves adjusted. And some of that stuff I just don't want to deal with because I just don't have time. I'm pretty busy with work. Like I could flush the radiator, but I'm going to have the dealership do that, and I'm going to have to change the fork oil. I will do the brake fluid because it's It's getting a little dark. I'm going to do that when I change the pads out at the end of the season. They still have plenty of usable material on them. And I figure I'll just make a big mess all at once. That's it for the channel updates. Not a whole lot going on. We will be out riding this weekend. Me and my friends Sumalya and Madan from work. And I'll get some ride video of that, put something together. I don't know. I might have too much fun and forget to record something, but I'll do my best because it's sort of kind of the first official U.S. Idiot Collective ride out, even though it's only really the Michigan version of it, which means it's like, you know, between my wife Melly and my other two friends and a guy who lives over in Ann Arbor, there's a whole 5 of us in Michigan right now. That'll change. You never know. As every month goes by, more people join the forum. By the way, if you look at the bottom of this video in the description, there's a link to bikers.boards.net. It's the Idiot Collective forum. It doesn't cost you anything to join. Come in, check it out. Lots of good people in there. A lot of them from all over the world, but it really started in the UK, so you'll see a lot of guys from the United Kingdom in the forum. Well, thanks for watching, and until I get parts for this guy so I can fix it and get it back on the road, stay safe.